Hey, back with you again. Now, before I get started, there's gonna be a little bit of profanity in this video, but no, don't worry. There's nothing negative for what I have to say about this district attorney Marilyn Mosby, which I mentioned in my previous video before. So, but I mean, there'll still be some profanity in there. In profanity in my video. So, but if you're a parent with kids, you pause the video and unpause once your kids are out of the room. Duh. And those who are sub to me already know the drill. And Marilyn Mosby, for those who may not know, she is the district attorney of Baltimore, and she was also famously known for actually wanting to hold crooked cops held accountable. She wanted to bring accountability. But especially with the Freddie Gray case, which you can look it up for yourself. And the only reason why they quit it happened thanks to a crooked judge and folks in power that did not like that Marilyn Mosby wanted to bring accountability and wanted to give the Freddie Gray family justice that they deserved, especially what happened to their loved one. But if you want to, but I'm not. I mean, I guess. But of course, and these police unions try to break her, and then these okay, basically the corrupt ones basically try to break this woman, but of course she's not backing out, she's not letting down, which I humbly respect Marilyn Mosby. I think the thing that keeps her going is the support that she has from the people, which I am not going to trip about. So you know it. And I remember I mentioned in my video talk about with Kamala Harris where I said Marilyn Mosby did something that's gonna really piss off Kamala Harris. You know, well, something interesting came out, and you know what? And I gotta give my little shout out to her. That's what she says. What they're saying about Baltimore State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby's decision to stop prosecuting pot possession. All right.
Consistent with my pledge to secure justice over convictions, I'm announcing a monumental shift in public policy as it relates to marijuana possession in the city of Baltimore. Effective immediately, the Baltimore City State's Attorney's Office will no longer prosecute marijuana possession cases regardless of weight and/or criminal history. Effective immediately, the Baltimore City State's Attorney's Office will prosecute possession with intent to distribute and distribution of marijuana if those charges are based on articulated evidence of intent to sell or distribute marijuana beyond the mere possession of it. Effective immediately, the Baltimore City State's Attorney's Office will now mandate the referrals of all first-time felony drug distribution offenders to the Aim to Be More Diversion program. And as of 10 a.m. this morning, my office has filed a writ of quorum nobis in both the circuit and district courts, seeking to vacate the convictions of 1,050 cases in circuit court and 3,778 cases in district court dating back to 2011.
Okay. Let's get started on the article. So, Baltimore State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby surprised announcement Tuesday that her office will no longer be prosecuting marijuana possession cases received widespread approval from advocates of marijuana legalization. Tricia Christensen, legislative advocacy coordinator with Baltimore Harm Reduction Coalition, called the announcement a first step to heal our community after decades of harsh drug war propaganda, which was just nothing but, just a war on black people. So, however, the acclaim was not universal in a statement. Acting Police Commissioner Gary Tuggle said officers will still continue to make illegal arrests of pot possession until state legislators changes the law regarding marijuana possession. Yeah, but I knew these folks were gonna really, really lose their shit. But continuing, one of Mosby's former political rivals said her announcement rang hollow. Baltimore stopped prosecuting marijuana cases years ago, said Theodore Viglanaja, former deputy attorney of Maryland who lost to Mosby in November election. This announcement is a good way to grab a headline, but changes nothing. Get the fuck out of here. Ivan J. Bates, who along with Ringa challenged Mosby in the most recent primary election, that her unliteral decision would only create greater chaos within the overstretched legal system. How about you want to go and read that? You can read that. You can go ahead, but continuing. But I mean, towing something the middle ground that Baltimore's Mayor Catherine Pugh, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm very sorry, said in the statement, while she applauded what Mosby is attempting to address, she called on lawmakers to collaborate with Mosby and the police department to come up with a unified and consistent approach. And if you want to go and read the Mayor Pugh, you know, about that. Okay, so let's see. Continuing, a few observers urged Maryland's General Assembly to do more to end marijuana arrests. Christensen, speaking on behalf of the Baltimore Harm Reduction Coalition, called on Mosby to support legislation and that would decriminalize drug possession. Olivia Noggle, legislative coordinator for the Marijuana Policy Project, said in the statement, "We hope that the rest of the state will follow the lead of State's Attorney Mosby and strongly consider more sensible and even-handed approach to marijuana. The General Assembly can and should stop marijuana possession arrests and their harmful fallout by ending marijuana prohibition once and for all." Maryland's Office of the Public Defender applauded the decision in a tweet that pledged to work with the state's attorney's office to vacate convictions and expunge records of those who are charged. And you can go read the tweets. Former Baltimore State's Attorney Kurt Schmoke said Mosby can't succeed without the help of the police. Continuing, in order for her policy to be effective, she has to coordinate with local law enforcement, said Schmoke, who is now president of the University of the Baltimore. But one individual on Twitter pointed out the arrest would continue since marijuana remains illegal. Yeah. So Ben Curran, CEO of the Green Bits, a tech platform that uses cannabis dispensaries, there is a cruel irony that people hit the hardest on the drug war are often hit with a second time by not getting a job in the legal cannabis industry. Ms. Mosby's decision is a great step forward for the city of Baltimore and for the state of cannabis in this country. Like others, the CNN commentator Keith Boykin praised the announcement while calling for even more action. Left-wing critics on Twitter said the seemingly progressive move was tempered with Mosby's own history on office, which included the controversial prosecution of Keith Davis Jr., tried 3 times for killing Pimlico racecourse security guard. And, just folks trying to start crap with her because she's doing this, but you know. But either way, I will say this, hey, good for her, and plus also she, so at least with her, I've not heard anything crooked about her anyways, at least, and also especially she actually wanted to hold crooked cops accountable, and now she tries to, and now that's kind of one way to stop the prison pipeline, especially, folks who came and get a job they just have just because they have weed and they're not even a fucking threat to society, at least, at least that's one step, and of course, and she knows who's always disproportionately affected with what happened. But and you read the little statement of what the police commissioner said, being so defiant with to Marilyn Mosby of what she's doing. You see, they still are they're still not too happy with this woman. But you know what? She don't she don't give a fuck. At least with her, she's actually doing the right thing, actually trying to make shit right. Unlike Kamala Harris. Mm-mm-mm. Well, but you know what? I will say, shout out to her, and you know what? And I hope she gets reelected again. You know, if I lived in Baltimore, Maryland, I would have given her my vote. You know, I would have voted for her. But you know, but I mean, I don't want, but I'll support her, and hopefully she wins again. So just comment and subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'm out. See ya.